Hi, I'm Larry Titus. I'm so happy to see you today. I wish I really could see you today, but you can see me. But I want you to know that I'm very blessed to be able to participate in this training session, or at least give you some of the insights that I feel God has shared with me on the leadership principles of Jesus. We're on 5 today, which is the 5th principle, that I consider Jesus the world's greatest leader. These are the reasons. This principle is very simple, and that is that Jesus was able to draw greatness out of people. He saw in them greatness. He saw in them what they were going to become as they followed him. So remember, he took these 12 nondescript men, 4 of them being fishermen, that we never hear of them catching one fish in 3.5 years that they were with Jesus. They just didn't do too well in that, so no wonder they were following him. We have a tax collector, an IRS guy who wasn't too popular. We have a zealot that was like a radical, that he was one step ahead of the law. We got guys that are just totally nondescript, James the Less. They didn't even call him James the More. He's James the Less. And Thaddeus, there's all kinds of individuals that Jesus brought to himself, and none of them are men of any kind of weight, any kind of title or abilities that were great. In fact, the Bible calls them in the book of Acts, they were all uneducated Galileans, except for one Judas, and we know that he was the treasurer of the group, and he was from the Jerusalem area. So, but in the 12 disciples, we got these men that were nobodies, and they followed Jesus. They left all to follow Jesus, and he took the nobodies and made somebodies. Because Jesus has what I call sunglasses, S-O-N, sunglasses. So that means that he has an ability to see in people what they can become. I believe that that is a godlike thing that he's put in all of us, that we can see past just the visual, and we can see past just those things that are known of their past, and we can see what they're going to become in their future, because it is a prophetic sense that we have in the Holy Spirit. I believe that this happens all the time in the life of a believer, that God gives you insight into what somebody can become. So Jesus met one of these men, and his name was Peter. His name was originally called Simon, which means one who hears, and we assume one who hears from God. So Jesus met Simon on day number 1 of their encounter, John 1:42, and Jesus looks at him and said, "No longer am I going to call you Simon, I'm going to call you Cephas," Aramaic. In the Greek, that word is Petros or Petra. And so Jesus called him Rocky. That's what it means, a rock. Aramaic or Greek, it means the same thing, a rock, a stone. So Jesus met Peter, and on day number 1 says, "You're going to become a rock." Well, if you followed the life of Peter for 3.5 years, he was anything but a rock. You wanted to say, "Oh no, not again, Peter." Every dumb thing you could ever say, you say. Everything that maybe somebody thought but didn't say, you think and you say. And you always had your foot in your mouth. It was always, you only had your foot out of your mouth long enough to change feet. Every single thing, everything you could do that would be crazy, you did. Yet Jesus called you Peter. He called you who you were to become, not who you were. Why do we talk to people? Why do we talk down to people? Why do we talk condescendingly to people? Why do we speak about their past? They'll never succeed. They'll never make it. Well, you just don't have what it takes. Why don't we speak into what God has for them? Like Jesus did, he had an ability to draw greatness out of people. It just grips me at times, because I think that that's the calling of all of us, that we can say, you're awesome, you're special. Why don't we do this? Why doesn't it become commonplace to us to learn how to speak into people's life instead of speaking to people's death? So Jesus saw what they were going to become, and they did. We speak into people what they are, and they stay where they are or become less than. Why don't we talk up to people rather than down to people? Why don't we give them hope for what God is going to be doing in their lives, for who they have been designed to become in Jesus Christ? So God, through Jesus, calls him Rocky. For 3.5 years, Simon was known as Rocky, and the man who blew it in every way you can blow it. By the time Jesus got finished with him, this man that even forsook Jesus on the day of Pentecost stands up and preaches, and 3,000 souls are saved. Way to go, Rocky. Jesus had an ability to draw greatness out of people. I call on you. Get that in you. You must have this if you're going to be a leader like Jesus Christ. You must carry this principle inside you. An ability to speak greatness into people, and then watch what God will do. It is prophetic affirmation that will literally set them on fire.